When we started out, I had no idea that this is the path that we would go on.
I never imagined that it would become not just a career, but such a fulfilling part of my life.
I could see that this thing is going to be a groundbreaker. This is going to be an industry disruptor.
It is amazing that it hasn't stopped.
You know, that dream, if you want to call it that, has sort of been fulfilled.
Hyperform is a parent company, and we do business as SeaDek, SwimDek, and EndeavorDek.
SeaDek was founded in October 2004 and turned into quite an interesting journey.
I'm Kurt Wilson, President and CEO of Hyperform Incorporated.
My name is Serenity Gardner. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Hyperform.
My name is Susan Wilson, and my official title as an officer of the company is Secretary and Treasurer, but I am the AR/AP Manager.
My name is Jason Gardner. I'm Vice President of Marketing and Advertising at Hyperform.
My name's Chuck Yates, and I'm currently Vice President of Sales.
My name's Jeff Sheeman. I'm Vice President of Production and Logistics.
My name is Destiny Manis. I'm the VP of Quality, Supply Chain, R&D, the IT Department, and Project Management.
Back in the 80s, in 83, 84, my brother and I were working in the surfing industry. We were building surfboards and such. We love surfing, so we had the bright idea that we were going to start our own business so that we had more flexibility. We could go surfing, do what we wanted to, when we wanted to do it. So we went into business manufacturing the fins that go on surfboards. And eventually that became fins for sailboards and other things. And that led into surf traction, which is made using EVA materials and some of the same processes we now use for SeaDek. Now that was the genesis of it. When we were doing surf traction, we realized that, you know what, what makes sense on a surfboard, the wet traction characteristics, the comfort, the aesthetics of it, would make good sense on boats as well.
It was all just a very organic transition. Each of the people that came in as partners had a strength that contributed to the whole group.
So we started this idea of just creating a couple products, showed them to some of my friends that ran West Marine stores here in Central Florida with a lot of enthusiasm on their part. The very first OEM was Hells Bay up in Titusville. We decided there was a natural need for 5mm pads on the poling towers and on the forward casting decks.
With X-Track, we die cut, which is sort of a stamping operation.
We were die cutting both the Hells Bay logo and the pad itself, straight edge cuts, no bevels. Obviously, without having CNC machines, that was the first opportunity. We thought we were big time when we had a Hells Bay, not to knowing that this was going to lead us down a path that was so much different and diverse than where we were originally heading. Currently, we're at over 200 OEMs, and that would be worldwide.
We have close to 140, 150 employees. We have 2 facilities that are about 73,000 square feet. We have about 130 installers around the world and over 40 fabricators, about 16 or 17 of which are in the US.
I think one of the great things about this organization and group of people is a commitment to continuous improvement, continued improvement in efficiencies, of quality, of organization. And I think that's really what it's all about, is everyone working together to make a better product and a better company and a better system.
SeaDek started this product line in boats. We were the innovator, we were the originator, and we just can't sit back. We've decided that we've got to be very, very forward-thinking in everything that we do. And that's between manufacturing and product development, and making sure that we are thinking of things well in advance of our competition and well in advance of our current customer base.
Initially, we were hand gluing all these sheets together, which wasn't scalable at all, and quality was a hard thing to maintain, and it just wasn't a great way to do things.
It took 6 hours for the glue to dry before we could finally laminate the material.
We turned our attention to improving that process. Kurt and Jim got together and brainstormed, did some trial and error, and they developed our first flame laminator.
This allows us to make a quicker lamination that only takes 30 seconds.
That was huge. What took a group of employees a week to do, all of a sudden could be done in one day.
I remember the day that I started, we had one brand new CNC machine being delivered. We now have 18 CNC machines.
The router knife cutter is continued to evolve too on the finish side of things. We've added some pretty sophisticated PSA laminating equipment to apply the PSA, the peel and stick backing, to the sheets. We've added lasers of different sorts for doing full sheet lasering, and then also logo type lasering on parts.
We're always working on new designs and techniques and incorporating our routing with laser, which gives it a really cool look as well.
We're moving back to the idea of working from a web of material, a continuous sheet of material in roll form, as opposed to working from sheets. There's some pretty interesting tricks involved in that, but that is now setting the stage for some pretty high volume production on the sheet side of things. We're looking at printing onto materials, which opens up a whole new world of possibilities, but that's proven to be a pretty tough nut to crack. All of these things, though, allow us it gives us a lot of tools that we can present to customers so that we can work with them to develop unique and interesting looks that help them differentiate themselves from other manufacturers. When you work to increase your capacities and you look for more efficient ways to do things, inevitably the quality can and should improve as well.
Once the foam's here, it goes through a strict quality control process. We're an ISO certified company, so that means we have to set up procedures for ourselves to follow, and then we're audited every year and held to account that we're actually doing what we say we're going to do.
We do all of our lab testing in-house. All of our equipment is calibrated to the ISO 9001 standard. We want to make sure that if you order a sheet of SeaDek in 1 year, that if you order it again the next year, that it matches the same color and the same durability. We take approximately 0.5% to 1% of our material and destructively test it to ensure that it meets the rigorous standards that we've set.
We run it through QUV testing, Q-Sun testers. We replicate real-world exposure, heat, humidity, moisture, wear and tear, and we make sure that the quality on every batch is held to that same high standard.
If you don't monitor that as it comes in, you could get in a position where you've got a whole lot of something that ain't good. So yeah, we've invested quite a bit in that end of things, the quality control end of things with the lab and other evaluation of the materials on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, so the thing about challenging times is it makes you evaluate what you're doing and make changes and adjustments and improvements.
We were doing really well with X-Track. Then the recession hit in 2007. Jim Wilson, Kurt Wilson, and Jason Gardner all took shifts on CNC machines and ran them 24 hours. And our children worked for us for no pay. And it makes me emotional because it really was a really hard time.
Almost all of our business was specifically and exclusively OEM, selling right to the boat builders. When the recession hit, that business dried up almost overnight. So we looked around and realized, well, no one's going to be building boats for a while, but there's a lot of people out there with older boats, and maybe our product is something that can help them refresh their boats, make it feel and look like a new boat. So we shifted our marketing and our advertising focus to the aftermarket, and coming out of the recession into the recovery, we had a much more balanced company, and so we were able to take a negative and turn it into a positive. We tried to cover all of the aftermarket from one location. We would try to service customers in Canada and Australia from right here in Rockledge, Florida. We realized that wasn't going to work for very long. The lead times, the communication, all of it just couldn't be done at that distance efficiently.
So we started a training program, and for fabricators and most installers, we bring them into our facility and we train them to meet our standards. And we teach them how to template a boat, and then to cut the material and then do the installation. And the difference really there is that a fabricator has a CNC machine, so they can cut the product as well as install it. So they can really service their local market, and we know they can do that much better than we can here, again, from our location in Rockledge, Florida. The really great part about that is we're expanding the brand. People are becoming familiar with our products and our innovation and our standards for quality, and they can get the product installed in their boats wherever they are.
So part of our strategy at SeaDek and the supply chain is to geographically diversify our sources of material. We have suppliers in Asia, in Europe, and in North America. Part of the reason for that is whenever there are delays in one part of the world, the rest of the supply chain is able to compensate for that shortage.
As SeaDek evolves, so do our training programs, both internally and externally. We have kind of created the term called SeaDek University, and with that we provide tuition reimbursement. We try to provide online training through Fred Pryor and a number of different online platforms so that our employees can learn Excel or PowerPoint or project management system. So we think it's important to kind of empower and encourage our employees to bring them up.
We have such a strong group of people working with us. I never like to say for us. Our roots are family oriented, and when we get employees that work with us and they see the potential in the company and they see the growth in the company, it's like we are one big happy family.
And it all came from, some guys jumping on a machine and wrenching on a CNC machine and making something that didn't exist before. And that creative process is at the heart of our success. We're not just ordering these pads from some factory overseas. We're actually out on the floor designing, making, innovating, and creating something brand new. And that's a powerful thing.
When you can take what you love and do it as a job, it's the best feeling in the world.
Really, it's about connecting people with what they love.
There is a genuine warmth in this group of people.
We're all very, very fortunate.
It's not one individual, it's not one department. It's all been a team effort.
Again, whether we're related by blood or not, we are part of this SeaDek family.